Students, in the past few sessions, we have completed refraction from plane surfaces and refraction from curved surfaces. In this particular session, we are going to learn new chapter, Human Eye and Colorful World, which is one of the important topic, one of the important chapter in class 10th syllabus. In the previous chapter, we have learned few basic things regarding reflection and refraction. We will continue we will learn few points based on that concepts which we have discussed in the earlier chapters, and then we will start learning this new chapter. In previous chapters, in class 10th previous chapters, we have learnt about focal length of lens and object distance, determination of nature of image, position of the object and size of the image. We have learned how to locate image positions, size of the image and nature of the images depending on their object's position using lens and as well as mirror. When we are locating objects and image distances, when we use lens or either mirror, we will be using our eyes. We will be using our eye and we will view the objects and as well as image positions. As we know, depending on the object's position, we have different image positions. When the image positions are changing, we are not changing our eye position. Eye is remained in its own position, even though position of the image is variable. Then what is the function of lens in human eye? As we know, our human eye, there will be lens embedded in our human eye. What is its function? That we will be learning initially. And then how does it help to see objects at long distances and short distances? When you are seeing objects at different positions, sometimes it may be closer to your eye. Sometimes objects may be farther to your eye. How does the eye lens used in viewing these long distance objects and short distance objects? That we will be learning. And next, how it is possible to get image at some particular distance on the retina. When we are able to view image at some particular distance, all images at any distance image may be there, that is clearly formed on retina of your eye. For any distant position, how you are able to see clear image in your eye, that we will be learning. And are we able to see all objects which are in front of our eye clearly with our naked eye? When you are seeing objects in front of your eye, sometimes you may get blunt image, sometimes you may get clear image, sometimes the vision may not be possible. That depends on position of the object which you are placing in front of your eye. How we are able to do that? How you are able to see objects in front of our eye clearly? And how do the lenses used in spectacles correct defects of vision? Some people will be using glasses, lens for their eye. How you are able to correct the defects of vision. That will be discussed in this particular chapter. So in this particular chapter, we will be learning in detail about our human eye, what is its function and internal anatomy of human eye, and how you are able to trace image which is formed on the retina. What are the effects of eye lens in eye, and what are the defects which an eye can suffer. About those all detailed things we will be discussing in this particular chapter. So as these all questions we are going to answer, and we will be able to understand by the end of this particular chapter, and it is important chapter in class 10th syllabus. As a part of that, learning about your eye and uses and defects, let us do one small activity with your book which is placed in front of you. You can take a textbook, or whatever the screen which is in front of you. You just place that particular screen at certain distance, like how this person is catching this notebook or textbook in front of his eye at certain distance. Say for example, this distance, it can be 10 centimeter, 20 centimeter, 30 centimeter, like this. Now try to read the concepts on the page. What is present on that particular page, try to read those concepts. Now slowly move book towards your eye till it is very close to your eyes. For example, you will be placing this book. Say for example, you are placing this book at 40 centimeter from your eye. You are placing this textbook at a distance of 40 centimeter from your eye. Not even 40 centimeter, till where, like when you are able to view things on that particular book clearly, at that certain distance you place it. And now bring that closer to your eye. So 40, decrease it to 30, and then decrease it to 20, and then decrease it to 10, and then decrease it to 5. Now 5 in the sense you are placing book in front of the eye itself, very much closer, 5 centimeter, very closer, right? When you are changing the positions of the book in front of your eye, what changes do you notice? What are the changes you are noticing? So you should do this activity by your own, and you should be able to answer that. Now we could see, of course, in this video session I will be explaining what actually happens. You might see the printed letters on the page of the textbook appear blurred, or you feel strain in the eyes. When you are placing, now just you can try it now itself. Just place the mobile screen or computer screen in front of you, very much closer at a distance of 5 centimeter. You feel that your eye gets strained. That is one thing. And next, you will be seeing whatever is present on that screen. You could not see that clearly. You could get a blurred image in your eye, and your eye get strained. This is what you have learned from this activity, and you should do this activity as well. Now what you do is slowly move the book backward to a position where you can see clear printed letters. Now from 5 centimeter, you bring that textbook a little bit farther. From 5, you bring it to 10, bring it to 20, then 25, then 30, then 35, 40, like that. Now, this is how at some particular distance, when you are bringing this textbook away from your eye, from 5 centimeter, if your distance is increased, at certain distance, you are able to see image clearly, right? Now ask your friend to measure the distance between your eye and the textbook. When you are placing textbook in front of your eye such that you are able to view the image clearly, at that particular point, you just hold the textbook and ask your friend to measure that particular distance and note down that value. Note down that value. Repeat this activity with other friends also. With other friends also, you repeat the same activity and note down the distances. Okay, so do the same activity 3 or 4 times and ask your friends also to do the same activity 2 or 3 times and find the average of all these distances of clear vision. So till you are able to see the clear vision, at that particular point you measure the total distance and make an average of 3. From that particular activity you are able to see that you must hold it nearly at a distance of 25 centimeter from your eyes. So the minimum distance which you are able to see clearly the image of alphabets present on the textbook is 25 centimeter. Beyond 25 centimeter, of course, 25 centimeter closer to that means 30 centimeter if you place, you do not have any problem. But 50 centimeter if you place, when you are placing textbook at a distance of 50 centimeter, you cannot view the objects on that particular book clearly. Likewise, when you are placing that book closer at a distance of 10 centimeter or 5 centimeter, you could get image blurred. So the least distance which you could see clear image from your naked eye is that called as least distance of distinct vision, and for normal eye it is 25 centimeter. For a normal eye this is 25 centimeter, that is called as least distance of distinct vision for any eye. That means for generally adult whose age is nearly above 10 years and up to 30 or 40 years of age, generally an adult eye will have least distance of distinct vision which is equal to 25 centimeter. In this particular slide we have learned the least distance of distinct vision. For any eye, least distance of distinct vision will be equal to 25 centimeter. This is for adult eyes. Whereas in case of elder, like your grandfather, grandmother, their least distance will be slightly different than this. And moreover, the children whose age is very less, infants, for them also, it will not be 25, it will be some other value. But an adult average least distance of distinct vision will be 25 centimeter. Students, from first activity we have learned least distance of distinct vision. Now we are going to see one more, we are going to learn one more concept from another activity. In this activity what you do is, let us take one stick CD. Let us take one stick CD. This is in this figure. You have a stick, that is a CD. Now this CD, this is like a stick or a ruler or a scale or anything like that. It is a CD which is a stick. Now this stick is placed from your naked eye at a distance of, say, like you can place this stick at a distance of 30 centimeter. When you are placing this stick length, if I consider, I can take nearly as 50 centimeter. 50 centimeter is the length of that particular stick. And you are placing it in front of your eye and you are able to see the topmost point of the stick, bottommost point of the stick when you are placing it at a distance of 30 centimeter. And the whole length of the stick is 50. Now what I do, just I will bring this stick to new position. I'll bring this stick to new position. I'll bring it closer to our eye. And this particular CD, like when you are placing it a little bit closer, this C, like some part under this C and some part under this D is able to view from this particular angle. Like when you are placing it at a distance, say 20 centimeter. When you are placing it at a distance of 20 centimeter, like you can see this part, and this part I name it as A, and this part I name it as B. Now what is the distance you are by 10 centimeter you are bringing it. Now what I do, just bring this AB stick still closer. Now you are placing this at a distance of like 10 centimeter. When you are placing it at a distance of 10 centimeter, can you see the position of A and B? Obviously you could not see the position of A, but instead of observing A and B positions, you could see this position. So this position is here E, and this position is here F. And this A dash you are unable to view. This is left out from your angle of vision. A dash is now outer from the angle of vision. C is also outer from angle of vision, right? Therefore, the ray comes out from extreme ends of an object from an angle at the eye. If this angle is below 60 degrees, we can see the whole object. If this angle is above 60 degrees, then arise from person to person with age. Of course, when this angle is 60 degrees, like this angle of vision, it is 60 degrees. If the object which you are placing in front of your eye, if it is within the region of 60 degrees, if it is subtending only an angle of 60 degrees with your eye, then complete portion can be observable. If it is not subtending 60 degrees, then complete portion is not observable. Only that particular angle subtended up to 60 degrees will be viewable from that extended object. And of course, this also varies from age to age and person to person. If a person has defect in the eye, then even 60 degrees angle is also not viewed. It can be 50 degrees. It can be 40 degrees. As your age increases, the vision, angle of vision also changes. Therefore, in such cases, you will be having different angle of vision. Instead of 60, it can be 40 or 20 or like that. Right? Now, you have learned that the value of least distance of distinct vision is about 25 centimeter, and the value of angle of vision of human beings is about 60 degrees. And these two values are fixed for a common eye. If there are any defects in the human eye, then 25 can be varied and 60 degrees also varied. But for an average normal naked eye, 25 distance will be the least distance of distinct vision, and the angle of vision is up to 60 degrees. And these values, 25 and 60, these values varies from person to person and with age of the person. You can see only the part of the object if you are having some defect in your eye, right? Now there is few question here at the bottom of the slide, and this question is that why does the value of least distance of distinct vision and angle of vision change with person and age? Why it is changing? As I told you, for a person who is getting elder, his least distance may not be 25, it may be some other value. It can be like 20 centimeter. It is changing. Why is it changing? and 60 degrees may not be 60, it can be changed to 50. Then how it is being varied? That is one question. Now, in order to answer this question, we need to go beyond, and in the next coming slides, we will be learning about the functionality of our eye, and with that, we can answer these questions. Why the values of least distance and angle of vision varies for person to person. That we will be able to answer in next coming slides. Students, we have defined what is meant by least distance of distinct vision and also angle of vision. And we have also learned that the angle of vision and least distance varies from person to person, and that depends upon the age of person also. Now we are going to answer how it is varied from person to person by learning the eye anatomy. By learning the complete structure of human eye, we can answer why there is changes in least distance of distinct vision and also angle of vision. So human eye is one of the most important sense organs, right? Without eye, you can, like, you know how much difficulty it will be. Living becomes most tedious without eye. So it is one of the most important sense organ. It enables us to see the object and colors around us. Our human eye, of course, it enables us to see the objects and as well as colors. The beauty of this world can be viewed with our eye. If your eye is not perfect, then you can miss the whole beauty of the world. Now coming to the structure of eye, you could see in the figure, this is the structure of eye, internal structure of eye. This is the internal structure of eye. And there are few parts we need to locate. Labeling this eye is important, and of course all these parts you will be learning in detail in biology, but only few terms. In physics we will be using only few terms which are related to optics, and out of those, this is one thing we need to remember. One is ciliary body, and the other one is iris, and the other one is lens, and the other one is pupil, and the next is retina. These are the terms which I have rounded it here on the slide. Those terms you should be familiar. In next coming topics we will be using these terms. That is the reason why you need to learn the anatomy of eye. Now this is the internal structure of your eye, and this part is called as conjunctiva, and this part is called as iris, and here it is eye lens, and this is pupil, black lid which is present in your eye, it is called pupil, and in front of this backlit black pupil there is cornea, and this part it is conjunctiva. Of course here also this is conjunctiva and this is also conjunctiva, and internal this white part is sclera, and in between pupil and cornea there is another chamber called anterior chamber, and in between the lens and this end there is vitreous body, and here we have ciliary body, and this ciliary body is that which enables our lens to change its position. So ciliary body plays major role in viewing objects at different positions. So this is very, very important term. We will be using this term in next coming topics also. And next, coming to this brown color layer, it is choroid, and the last part, this which is pale yellow, it is retina. And next is macula, and then optic nerve, and then optic disc. Now this is optic disc, and this is optic nerve, and this optic nerve is connected to brain. Optic nerve is connected to the brain. Of course, these all terms you should by heart them in biology, but physics you need not by heart them. Only few terms like retina and ciliary body and iris, lens, pupil. These terms are very important for us dealing with optics. Now this optic nerve, like what actually happens, we will be seeing when you are placing an object in front of eye. When you are placing an object here, this is object. When you are placing object in front of the eye, what actually happens and where is the image obtained in our eye because of this lens, and how that image is being carried to the brain, that we will be discussing in coming sessions, of course. This is the anatomy of eye. Students, we have seen few parts of eye in the previous slide, and in this particular slide, each part of eye is described. And of course, we are not going to describe all the parts. We will be describing only few parts which are necessary for our discussion related with light. Now, this is eye, and it is lens. This is eye lens. You are placing an object in front of eye. This is object. From this object, you can construct a ray diagram. From this object, a light ray travels in this particular direction. Now the light ray from this end, it will be entering into our eye, and in this particular pupil, through this pupil, it will be passing through this layer, this layer, this layer, and pupil, and then lens. When it pass through lens, the light undergo deviation. It is undergoing refraction. It undergo refraction, and the light slightly bent from its actual path, and that refracted light ray are able to projected on this part, and this is the image. This is the image which is observed over there. And this image which is projected on the retina, that will be carried to the brain by optic nerve. This is optic nerve. Right? Now, what is the function of ciliary body? First, I'll be explaining only terms which are essential for us. Ciliary body is that the muscles of ciliary body control the shape and focus the power of the lens. Now here is lens, right? This lens, depending on the position of the object, lens position changes, and that is done by ciliary body. Ciliary body adjusts the lens depending on the position of our object. It will be adjusted such that for any position, image is exactly formed on retina. In order to form image exactly on the retina, this eye lens position can be changed by using ciliary body. Right? That is one important thing. And next important thing is retina. The retina is light sensitive cells which has rods and cones on the retina, and this transform light into electrical pulses, and these electrical pulses are carried to the brain. So retina has few rods and cones which collect the light and that are converted to electrical signals, and those signals are sent to brain. Those signals are sent to brain through this optic nerve. So optic nerve, which is embedded with fibers of optic nerves, they carry light signals from retina to the brain. Okay, so these are the four important parts of our eye which will be focused in optics, that is ciliary body and eye lens and retina, optic nerve. So these are the four important parts of eye which needed to be remembered to discuss next coming slides. Students, in the last slide, we have learned four important parts of our eye. Eye lens, and next is retina, and then it is ciliary muscles, and then optic nerve. These four parts are very important because we will be using these terms in next coming topics. Now, this is eye, and here we have an object. This is an object. An object is placed in front of eye, and this is ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles, they are above and below the lens. This is lens. What does this ciliary muscles do? These change the position of the lens. Like depending on the object position, sometimes you need to change the position of the lens to this way. Sometimes you need to change the position of lens to this way, like that. So you will be changing the position of the lens by using those ciliary muscles. Now the light rays which are coming over here, first they pass through this layer, and then next this layer, and then next pupil, and then next eye lens. What does this eye lens do? This eye lens refract the light rays. Because of that refraction, it slightly bend. Of course, this liquid also refract the light rays. It bend, and finally these light rays, they are received by the retina. This is retina. This part is retina. And when these light rays are received by the retina, this retina has rods and cones. These rods and cones will convert these light signals. Light is being converted into nerve signals, and these signals are sent through optic nerve to brain. And in brain, you are able to sense this image. This object's image is able to be sensed in the brain. This is how formation of the image takes place in the human eye.